Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Edu Magic Podcast. I was looking through the blog archives and I noticed I don't have anything on Pinterest. That is wild. So today we're walking through Pinterest for educators or new teachers or pre-service teachers. So if you are new to Pinterest, let me give you a little overview about what it is. So it's like a virtual bulletin board of tons of ideas. If you're from the 90s like me, then you remember cutting out all sorts of magazine clippings and making a collage, all sorts of things. Well, this is kind of like what Pinterest says. You make a collage of ideas. And did you know it's more than just recipes, dorm room ideas, and ways to decorate your graduation cap? There are so many teaching ideas out there on Pinterest. So first, to get started, you would create a free account and it's going to pop up and it's going to give you some options for searching and it's going to base it off of your content. So if you're looking at the video, you can see I have some different content posted here, some of it related to teaching, some of it not. But I'm going to go ahead and type in student teaching and let's see what kind of content it pops up with. So how to get the most out of my student teaching, things I wish I knew as a new teacher, how to prepare for student teaching, a free guide, my student teaching binder, so many great resources. Now I want to make sure I click on these resources and I save them to what I want to save them to. In this example, Pinterest has different boards. Think of them as categories or buckets of information. So I can save content to my different buckets. I can also comment on the resource. I can follow the person who posted it and I can save it. I'm going to want to make sure I check out the link as well, just so I can see what it looks like. So I can see what the resource looks like. I'm not just pinning something willy-nilly, but something that I really want to check out. And so I can go ahead, I can read her blog and I can look more at that resource. I'm like, yep, I'm loving it. I can go ahead and save it to one of my boards. So really easy to search through the content. You just go up to the magnifying glass, you type in the search, and you can go ahead and search for content. What's really nice is it'll also pull up different examples. So I typed in student teaching. It's also pulling up outfits for elementary, student teacher binders, student teacher essentials. I can go ahead, I can click on those and it'll give me different resources that I can check out. So here's what I have on my student teacher bag, student teacher advice from mentor teachers, 10 must-have school supplies for student teachers. Again, I can click on the image. I can choose which bucket I want it to go to. I can follow whoever posted it. And I can comment on the resource. Like, I love that you included a water bottle because it's really important for us to stay hydrated, something like that. So I can go ahead and I can add to it. Now, let's go ahead and think about, well, what kind of buckets or categories do I want to even have in my Pinterest? So again, Pinterest is a great resource to house all those great resources that you're getting from class, that you're getting from your professors, that you're getting from your mentor teachers, from your field experiences, your student teaching. Because sometimes we make copies of them and sometimes they go missing, right? So having something, an online space like Pinterest to house all those great resources. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to home. We can also go to the explore tab and get inspired, and it's going to have some different content there that we can do. We can also create a pin or an idea pin. But I'm going to go on over to my profile, and that's where it's on the top right. This is where you want to put in some information. So you want to have your username, your link, and this can go to a digital portfolio. It can go to a link tree like I have here. It goes to goes to my website, it goes to my LinkedIn, it goes to my Instagram all in one spot. I have a little brief intro about who I am. It includes who I follow and how many are following me. And also down below, you would see your buckets or your boards. So I'm going to create a new board. I'm going to go over here to the plus sign and click the plus sign and click board. And the board, I'm going to name this one Domain 1 Planning and Prep. I'm going to make 4 boards for each of the Danielson domains. Now, if you want to have a secret board, this could be like dorm room essentials. It could be how to decorate your graduation hat, quick recipes for teachers, something like that. If you want to have something secret so it doesn't come up for others to see, you can select this. But if you're sharing resources out there, I recommend keeping it public. So once I have my name typed in there. I'm going to click create, and it's going to suggest some pins that I can just put right on there. So here's some great lesson planning resources. Here's a grade 1 bundle. Here is an I do, we do, you do activity. Here's an example for Kahoot. Here's a behavior management strategy. Oh, a lot going on here. So I can go ahead and I'm going to go and save this one. I can click save and it'll save right to my domain 1 board. So here is my board is called domain 1 planning and prep. Here is my pin. That's what this resource is. It's a pin on my board. So I can go ahead and I'm going to go back to home and I'm going to search for lesson planning materials for elementary. And it can be whatever you teach. You can customize that for whatever. And here's some along the left. You're going to see some samples. I can do templates. It helps you narrow it down a little bit. Here's an example, 4 ways to lesson plan. Let me go ahead and check that resource out, see if it's something that I want or if it's asking me to buy something. Here's resources for planning through the day, multiple to-dos, editable resources, what a weekly plan looks like. This is nice. I'm going to save it. And now when I click on my boards, I will have my domain 1. I can save it there. I can again follow the poster and I can also comment. So it's important whenever you're going through the content that you're actually checking out the resource. You're not just pinning willy-nilly, you're going ahead and you're checking out the resource. And you can also create pins from your content. So I'm going to go to create pin and I'm going to make one called Pinterest resources for student teachers. Let me go ahead and spell that correctly. Add a destination link. So I'm going to pull something from my portfolio. So I'm going to go to S Message, go to my blog, search for Pinterest, because I know I have 2 blog posts about Pinterest. Pinterest to connect and learn. I'm going to copy the address and paste it where it says add destination link. I'm going to paste that right in there and click save from site. And it's going to look through that page and find an image. I can add it as a pin and tell everyone what your pin is about. My pin is about how to use Pinterest as a free service. And then I can choose where I want it to go and click save. So now I have my own content out there that I'm putting out on Pinterest for others to find. So not only can you save content that others have created, but you can create your own pins to save content too. So what I would recommend when you're first getting started with Pinterest, first start with your boards. In this example, I gave you starting with the Danielson framework as your 4 main buckets. You can have other buckets like content areas like math, science, social studies, ELA. You can have grade levels buckets. You can have professional dress or professional wear. You can have teaching materials, teaching resources, teaching manipulatives, all those types of buckets too. But just to keep it simple, I just gave the example of the Charlotte Danielson framework. Once you have your boards created, you can go ahead and create pins that go on each board. So think of the boards as buckets and the pins as little ideas that fill up that bucket. It's important to think about when you're developing your boards if you want them to be private, so only you can see them, or public. Now, I recommend if you're sharing content out there for others to see, make it public. That's a great way to get your content out there and for others to see it and get to know you. And when developing your Pinterest portfolio or bio, you can always go ahead and go into the profile. You can change your photo, add a little about you so people know who you are. You can pop in your website and your username there as well. So it's a great resource to have to also promote your positive digital presence. You can also change up your profile visibility if you want it to be a private account or not. Now, again, remember, if you've listened to any other episodes that I've done about digital presence, you want your professional side to be positive and professional and public. and you want your private life to be private. So remember, when you're posting to these pieces of content, make sure that you're mindful about where you're posting them and which account you're posting it under. All right, so that was a quick exploration of Pinterest. I would love to connect with you over on Pinterest. If you're a pinner and you love Pinterest, I'd love to hear how you're using it and what you're doing to organize your content and how it's helped you as a teacher. If you're new to Pinterest, I'd love to hear about that too. What are some of your ideas that you have for using Pinterest in the classroom? For one, it's a fantastic organization tool. It really helps support your organization, your navigation. It helps save all your favorite things into one spot, and you can keep updating it throughout your college career or throughout being a new teacher. All right, I hope that this episode was helpful. Let's connect over on Pinterest, and I will see you soon. Oh, my Pinterest account, I forgot to mention what it is. You can find me over on Pinterest at sfecich. I know, big surprise, right? SFECICH, and I'll see you over there. Take care, and remember, you have the Edu Magic. Bye for now.